Hi, this is Mayhem News Live wrestling broadcast. We're still using the setup that we've had the last show, so I'm going to try to I'm using a different phone, so I may be able to get the whole hour in. If not, I'll re-record. So, looking like it's going to be the first week of September before I get my computer back up. So, we're just going to deal with what we got, and I'll be posting the shows on our Google. They'll be on YouTube, and then I'll redo them on Facebook and Twitter as well. So, big show. So we're going to try to get to this just in case I don't have the 30 minutes. There's a big question that's been asked. Is Randy Orton going to become a full-time actor? Allison Walker, the entertainment reporter and anchor from News 13 in Central Florida, they're a news affiliate, talked to Orton in an interview on 7/5/2013. Orton said he didn't do his own stunts, and did shadow a paramedic. He actually plays one in the movie 12 Rounds Reloaded. He shadowed one prior to shooting. He asked, did he break out the RKO or put any villains' heads during the movie? And he said, I kind of wish I could tell you whether I did or not. He said, I did have a little bit of input on some of the scenes, but I can't really tell anybody too much. He does say that that he does see movies as one day hopefully becoming his his life's work. Maybe one day he knows one day he may not be able to wrestle, so he's looking at other options, which is a good thing. Ric Flair has been making some TV gold with appearances on Life Swap along with Roddy Piper. I just got through watching the episode of Lizard Lick Towing, which had Flair appear as having the guys do their security, and it's kind of interesting that he was doing a charity fundraiser. He was in North Carolina. It was really fun. It was good to see Flair. It was really funny. I'm not sure when this was shot. I know it was an older show, so but the Brisco brothers were spotted at a WWE event. Is this a sign, that they may be coming to a WWE, or is this just a coincidence? I don't really respect. I agree he has his rights to believe what he believes, but Jay Brisco saying what he did against, and saying he was going to shoot people because they were teaching someone, I can't really respect that, and I'm hoping that when WWE does allow, if they decide to let him come, that they tell him, hey, we don't put up with crap like that, so you need to nip that crap in the bud. So Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards of RHO have stated that they are in talks with both WWE and TNA after it was announced that their contracts would expire in August. There's a big question on the net. Should Hogan return to the ring? We here at Mayhem News give it answer that and say, hell no. It's not the fact that, everybody knows I don't like Hogan, but the fact that everybody knows his health issues. They know the surgeries that he's had. They know the fact that, he's had a lot of problems. And, we know that it's going to be a bull crap match. He's not actually really going to wrestle. We know for a fact that, they're going to have to gimmick it up, and somebody's going to have to interfere. And, why even go through that? Not only why do it, but why even risk his health issues with his back and his knees and his head? Why even risk? Why? what's the point in having him face Bully Ray when we know that if he wins, it's going to be crap, and it's just going to push. It's just going to push what people think about TNA even more. So, no, I don't think he should go back to it. I really don't. Had something happen in Cape Town, Africa. We had two guys, Anazi and Shane Cohen, were in a match. Apparently a fan in the ring thought Cohen should win and attacked Anazi, put him in a rear naked choke. I guess the guy didn't realize that Anazi is like built as hell, and Anazi flipped him over, slammed him on the ground, and pretty much, to quote the article I read, started kicking the shit out of him. And if you're in an audience, don't let your emotions override your butt, okay? Because you're going to get hurt. Most wrestlers are told it is they have a right to defend themselves. If you step inside that ring, you are considered, entering at your own risk, and they will defend themselves. And if you jump in, you're going to face the consequences. Not only are you going to get the shit beat out of you 9 times out of 10, but they're going to remove you from these tickets that you bought, paid God knows what else, or they're going to take you and remove you from the building and could press charges. So don't be jumping in the ring, and if they're meant to lose or they're going to lose, they're going to lose. Don't be jumping in the ring and doing all that crap. It's not worth it. Let's see. Moving right along. There were 7. The creators of WWE 2K14 kind of gave everybody. This happens every year. They kind of give you little snippets of who's going to be in the game. The 7 that they've released will be Cena, Ziggler, Randy Savage, Austin, Shawn Michaels, Ryback, and The Rock. There's been a lot of talk that there may be, the Ultimate Warrior has been in other WWE games, but not really any of the simmed, the seriously, that the games actually look like a real wrestling match games. They've been in Superstars and a couple of the others, but those games are kind of cartoony. They don't look as good as the ones like 2K14 and WWE 13 and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I'm wondering if maybe his relationship with WWE might be the cause for it. But if they're talking about him actually going to be in the actually in the game, if there's even a hint of it, maybe he's trying to work that out. So which is actually good for Sting, because if they work out their stuff with him, he could actually still go into the Hall of Fame without actually being in the WWE, because of him and Ultimate Warrior's Blade Runner days. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Former Knicks talents have dropped some serious bombshells about Bill DeMott. Now, when I wrote all these notes, there had been no official word. They were very serious, and since we're, hearsay at the time, I was not going to repeat them. Chase Donovan and Chad Baxter stated the bombshells on 2.5 Wrestlers podcast with Kevin Matthews and Jay Silva. There was a lot of stuff, and since WWE has actually released that stuff now, there was a lot of sexual harassment. I'm not going to mention the other stuff because WWE hasn't addressed it yet. So I don't know. Most people I've talked to said Bill DeMott was up, on the up and up. So until I see proof, it's still just hearsay to me. Even with the WWE, even with the WWE's, admission that sexual harassment and some other things were going on, and I don't know. I don't think that But we're just going to have to see. It's probably going to be a long, drawn-out process, and I'm not going to. I don't like to talk about rumors unless there's actually some shred of, proof. And in this case, it's their word against his. And being that they're no longer on Next, they already have a grudge, an axe to grind. So I would just rather wait. July 6th was the 15th year anniversary of the Goldberg versus Hollywood Hogan matches. They were in the Georgia Dome. There were 40,000 people watched Goldberg beat Hollywood Hogan for the WCW heavyweight title, which is now the world title, and so I actually got to watch that show and watch it happen. So I was not in the audience, but I was watching it at home. So it made for some good wrestling. It was the time during when Sting and the WCW were fighting the NWO. So and it was a good match. I think I'm glad somebody actually said something. All right, we're going to go into some of this other stuff here. Jim Ross states that the daily internet rumors of Sting coming to the WWE is just internet dribble. He has a point because there's nothing official, but he's not exactly going to stand up there and admit the biggest obtain for WWE, it's actually going to happen until they actually know it's going to happen. So, I don't know. He's known Sting since the beginning. If anybody was to know, I would think it was. He believes that Sting will be a WWE Hall of Famer. He speaks of the Blade Runner run with Ultimate Warrior, which, there's another mention of Ultimate Warrior. And then rumors of the Ultimate Warrior being in WWE 2K14 have surfaced, but like I said, no concrete evidence. And here's something funny now. I actually sent this internet article to Shane because I wanted him to talk about it on his NASCAR report. But it's kind of funny. If anybody watches NASCAR, 9 times out of 10 you've seen somebody called Trevor McNaughton. He's an avid NASCAR fan. He dresses in one of the racing suits, and he has different props that he wears. And he was actually quoted making fun of a friend who was wearing a CM Punk shirt, saying that wrestling fans were pitiful, pathetic, that they watched the same crap every week with the same results. Saying that the shows are predictable and it's the same stuff every week. And I hate to tell you, Trevor, but at least wrestlers are actually athletes. I'm pretty sure that most of the people that drive NASCAR work out, but to call them athletes, I know it takes something to sit in a car for 500 miles or 250 miles, but think about it. The car is doing all the work. It's not something like, I don't know. It just kills me that he's going to pop off about somebody wearing a t-shirt, and then I wish I could post pictures and let you see what this guy dresses like. It's just interesting. But I'm going to let Shane handle that and talk about it, because Shane is not only a NASCAR fan, but he's also a wrestling fan. And when I talked to him on Facebook chat this morning, it didn't seem like he was too pleased about the comments. So that was kind of an interesting note. Okay, As we saw, and we're not going to get onto this too much because I'll talk about it in the Raw report, but the Wyatts are here. What do you think they did? Make sure you drop us a line. That's at mayhemnews.com. Or, I tell you what, why don't you send it to our Mayhem News Live Twitter. That's at Mayhem News Live with capital letters at the beginning of each word. So, I don't have all my graphics, so I can't pop up anything. So, and just because we missed last week, make sure you follow at Zach Pack Promotions. That's one of our first sponsor. Make sure you can. Normally we have theme music that opens the show, but I can't do anything like that right now. So, but I want to thank Throttle. That's THORDL. Throttle is a cool band, and they've allowed me to use. They're sponsoring us by allowing us to use New Blood as our theme music. You can buy their albums, and you can buy individual songs on iTunes. They do have a Facebook page. Just search Throttle on Facebook. That's THORDL, all caps, and they'll pop up. The band members are great. We're going to be doing some stuff with them later on, maybe hopefully in a couple of months. I'll keep you. We're not going to do it until I get the computer because I can't really do it on the phone. So, and I want to thank Fighting Disability Slurs at WordPress.com, who's my wife's page. She's actually sponsoring us as well. So I mainly just want to let you know about our sponsors. Give them a thing, and look, Zach Pack Promotions is doing a Bustin' for Autism. You can actually search for them under Zach Pack Promotions under Facebook. Find out where their Busting for Autism is. It is in November. It is in Houston, and all the details are on their webpage. On that, you can also go to ZachPackPromotions.com. All their information is there. You're going to have, there's going to be Gold Dust, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Snitsky, just to name a few. We've got a lot of stars going to be there from TV shows, and she's selling tickets now. Go ahead, get your ticket if you're going to be in that area. If you buy a ticket, or Seth says hello, by the way. If you buy a ticket, or you buy one of the little autism awareness magnets, and those tickets that she has for SmackDown in that area, she's giving away SmackDown tickets, people. Go to the website, buy one of those little things. You got 3 ways that you can get a SmackDown tickets if you're in that area. So go find out the information and let them know that Mayhem News Live sent you. All right, I'm going to do another one afterward because I missed doing it the other day. So, all right, let's move on. Now here's the Wyatt. Like I said, the Wyatts are here. I think they did really well with but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about them during the Raw report. So I'm just going to move on. Former Diva Sunny, and if you don't know who Sunny is, I worry about you, especially if you're a guy wrestling fan. But anyway, she's giving the fans, excuse me, a chance to be photoed in bed with her. It's clothed, people. Okay, so don't get no ideas you're going to get naked with Sunny. Okay, let's be realistic. For a price. Just a plain photo with her, you laying next to her in the bed and smiling and doing, like the normal wrestling things, is like $50. Now for $75, you can either spoon with her, or she'll actually lay her head on your chest while you get the picture made. So, I mean, $75 is actually a pretty good deal. Anyway, moving right along. Cody Rhodes gives his brother Goldust credit for using his moves and for influencing the wrestling business. He did an interview with a local TV station, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the camera's so low. Anyway, he gave Goldust credit. He said, it's easier for him to take moves from his brother, then, because Goldust is so influential on, the wrestling history, he's been around, he's been, so he actually gave his brother credit, and, so I kind of think that's pretty cool. I still think they should do their WrestleMania match, but, WWE's going to do what they want to do, so. Okay, we're going to go into Impact Wrestling. It was good this week on Thursday to see something besides the Aces and Eights dominating the TV on Impact. The Main Event Mafia added Magnus, and they have actually been running roughshod, interfering, keeping the Aces and Eights at bay. So it's going to be it's going to be really cool to see who else they add. Like I said, I've already mentioned that Robert Roode would fit in, even though right now he's a heel. But so now we saw that Austin Aries won the title and was thinking, I'm going to do option C. Well, Hogan had a little swerve to throw him. He had to face Manic, which, if you don't know who Manic is, Manic used to be Suicide. And Sabin, he had to face them for the X Division title, and for a shot to see if he could use, he had to see if he could win the title straight up. With Sabin winning that match, Sabin tells Bully Ray if he still has the title at Destination X, he's coming after him, and he's going to be the new TNA World Champion. And if it wasn't, and hey, Main Event Mafia came out there, kept the match honest, run off Aces and Eights, kept them from interfering. It seems Joseph Parks' character, he was facing Jeff Hardy in a BFG series match, and he bumped his head, bumped his lip or something, and got blood. Kind of went into that trance and ended up black hole slamming the referee and caused Jeff Hardy to get 3 points for disqualification. And Parks had no clue. I'm really looking forward to that storyline, developing further. I think maybe they could make Mick Foley and, speaking of faces of Foley, leave it alone. Faces of Foley, proud of what they're doing. I like the fact that they're still playing him off as, he doesn't realize that he's that he's doing this. I really can't wait until they develop it further. I hope they don't screw it up, move on or something. AJ Styles hit Kazarian with a calf killer submission for 10 points. Magnus, the BFG series leader, was not in action that night, so we'll just have to, he'll have to see, because that 10 points for AJ is, it's looking to be a good BFG series. I like so far what's going on. SmackDown, we're getting a big push for the Usos. It seems their tag matches are really getting pushed, and in my opinion, it's a wise idea, and it's long overdue. It's not like we don't know the Usos come from great stock, Rikishi. They need to be up there. They need to move up some of these tag team. At least they're not, push them. Why, instead of pushing the primetime players, who botch almost every match. I don't understand how they could actually push someone that botches so much. But anyway, well, there's Sin Cara, but anyway. AJ continues her heel antics against Caitlyn, and she distracts her enough to allow Alicia Fox to take the win on SmackDown. It's kind of interesting to see where AJ and Caitlyn are going to end up. Caitlyn is either crazy, going to kill her, and AJ is stupid for poking the bull. I don't know. Good matchup with Christian taking on Orton. Orton gets the win via RKO, which, gains him momentum for the ladder match. So, for Money in the Bank. And we've got a lot of people that, that's actually, that match is going to be hard to call who wins before it ever happens. A lot of matches you can kind of say, so-and-so's going to win. I don't know. They're pushing a bunch of people, so I don't know. Dolph Ziggler also continues on his post-concussion roll by defeating McIntyre with the zigzag. I don't know. I'm kind of liking Ziggler's without the title sulky. You can tell he's kind of pissed off about not having the. We had a double count out for CM Punk versus Del Rio. Apparently Del Rio hit Heyman and CM Punk went off, and both of them were fighting outside when the referee counted them out. So that was, and then now we're going to talk to Raw, which Heyman shows what happened. He had a big black eye on Raw. So let's see. Daniel Bryan continues to steamroll this week on Raw. He's taking out Sheamus with a spectacular reversal for the win. Even Sheamus had to get up to shake his hand, and everything. So I thought that was really cool how he flipped over that and got the win. The Shield seems to be moved to the back burner on Raw, at least this week, with their quiet win over Tons of Fun. And no vignettes or nothing from the Shield, and then Cena found out why they call Mark Henry the world's strongest man. Jericho gets a win over the IC champion Curtis Axel, and right before that match is when Paul Heyman came out and showed off his black eye, and Curtis Axel poked a little fun at Jericho. It's kind of funny. During the Del Rio versus during Del Rio's match against Sin Cara, Sin Cara still exists. Ziggler actually comes out in the middle of the match and actually does an intro, basically talking about and picking about the size of Del Rio's genitals. And I was like, well, that's not really PG. Said that the reason why Del Rio talked about all of his cars and stuff is he was trying to compensate for something else, for size, the lack of size of other things. And I was like, wow, they went there. And then there was a thing in the back where they're talking about the Money in the Bank later on, Money in the Bank match, and Wade Barrett and all those people there. Well, Fandango tried to come in, and he tried to say something, tried to do the Fandango, and Wade Barrett was like, don't do it. And he kept interrupting, and finally ended up hitting him. And this change in Wade Barrett's character is starting to grow on me. They've changed his music. He's changed his mannerisms. He's a little more no bullshit kind of attitude. And to be honest, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. I kind of like it, but Kane defeats Christian there, and then that's when the Wyatts come out and basically take out Kane. The Wyatts, are doing so good anymore. The intro and interview was priceless. I want to, good job for WWE. And Punk defeats Orton with Bryan attacking both, standing high on the ladder, holding the Money in the Bank thing above his head. And it was a good ending of the show. It was actually a decent Raw. And, also Vicky Guerrero is also fired as the acting supervisor, managing supervisor of Raw. And there's a little pissing contest between Vince McMahon and Triple H, and I'll be honest, it was funny, especially the fact that, Stephanie was in the middle, and, Triple H says, we're going to let Stephanie decide. Vince goes, well, Daddy's little girl's going to do. I trust what Daddy's little girl's going to do. And Triple H was like, well, I trust my wife, the person that's got to live with me after all this is over with. I thought that was funny. Now, the funniest part of this scene was when they walked out. Vince McMahon and Stephanie were walking in front. Triple H was literally doing the best impression of Vince McMahon's grapefruit walks as he walked down behind Vince. It was hilarious. I was literally rolling on the floor. It was funny as hell, and I really needed that. It had been a good show, but to me, that right there made the whole night to see him do the walking thing. So I really like that part. But Vince McMahon pretty much tells the audience that we're all crazy, and tells the universe, which Stephanie ends up saying, hey, we're going to go with the universe vote, which they did one on the app. Hold on just a minute. And basically the app, they voted her that she passed or failed, and she failed. Well, Stephanie uses her dad's favorite words, says you're fired, which Vicky Guerrero, being the professional and the funny, the great heel that she is, pretty much goes ape crap. It's really funny. But Vince McMahon tells the universe and the audience that we've all failed and that we deserve what he's fixing to do. He looks at Brad Maddox and says, we need a new GM, and your new GM is Brad Maddox. The look on Brad Maddox's face was priceless. And then, of course, Vicky goes crazy and tries to attack him in the back. So it was a great show, and I thought I was going to do an hour, but I think I'm going to cut it off right now. I'm going to go ahead and do my sponsors again. Make sure that you follow Zach Pack Promotions. That's on Twitter at Zach Pack Promotions. On Facebook, you can search them at Zach Pack Promotions, and make sure on their Twitter it's Z Pack Promotions, not Zach Pack. So it's at Z Pack Promotions, and then make sure you follow and let them know that you heard about them on Mayhem News Live. I want to thank Throttle. We're not using their music for the shows for a while because I can't really play them and record at the same time. So until I can figure that out, we're not using them. But I'm still going to give them props because they did give us our new theme song, which is New Blood. Make sure that you go find them on iTunes. And when you buy it, make sure you go to their Facebook page. That's THORDL. That's THRODL. That's Throttle. Okay. Just search them on Facebook and like their Facebook page and let them know, hey, I heard about you on Mayhem News. They're good music. If you like their genre of music, which to me is it's really hard. It's really to the point, and it's a good music too. Also, we want to do Fighting Disability Slurs, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, that's at Mayhem News Live, capital letters on each of the words, first letter of each word, or you can follow me, that's at Team Oblios, and everybody just kind of keep Miss Stacy Lynn in your thoughts and prayers. She's kind of going through some stuff right now, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because frankly that's none of nobody's business, but I do want you to think about her, and kind of, if you see her on Twitter, make sure you let her know that that you're thinking about her. So, and we're backing her up. Okay, we're also looking for a new co-host. You've got plenty of time because we're not going to actually start doing the shows live again until around September. So contact me. That's mayhemnewslive@gmail.com, or you can contact me directly. That's at Team Oblivious. That's TMIBLIVES, all caps. Just let me know. We'll get together. You can send me some test video, and we'll look at it and see what we can do, and let you try out a couple of shows in September. So this has been Mayhem News Live. I appreciate it. I thank everyone who's been listening. We are over 700 viewers, and I really appreciate it, and I thank everyone who's been faithful, and don't forget to subscribe. So I will see you next week. We'll be here. We'll actually be here Friday for a small show, and we're here every Tuesday and Friday. It's been Mayhem News Live. Talk to you later.